Hey guys, SanChan Man here. So, I've been really looking forward to doing a sort of first reaction to an entire season of anime to let you know my obviously very important opinion of which shows you should be watching and which shows you shouldn't be watching because I told you so. I think this season is finally the season where I can actually do this because this is by far the most anime I have decided to watch in one season. So I'm excited to share that with you. And I am very humbled that you are watching this video and believe my opinion to be important. So before we actually get started, let's first put out some disclaimers. I mean, the obvious one is obviously this is an initial reaction, so things can change. But I also just wanted to point out that this is kind of an early first look at to see what you should watch and what you shouldn't. I mean, most people tend to do it within like probably around 3 to 6 episodes of a series, but honestly, after watching a good amount of anime, you kind of tend to notice which shows you are gonna like and which shows you aren't gonna like probably within 1 or 2 episodes. I feel like the reason why most people like to keep going with the show, like do like a 3-episode test or something like that, is probably because like you don't want to feel like you missed a good show, you know? So you're kind of scared that you might be wrong that it's a bad show, so you keep going or whatever. Through my own personal experience, almost every single time that I think a show is meh or not that enjoyable or just bad in general, within like the first episode, maybe the first 2 episodes, I usually end up dropping it anyway. And I do the same thing where I'm like, but it'll be good at some point, and I just keep on going, and then it just never gets good. I think within 1 or 2 episodes is usually a good enough time to know whether you're gonna like the show or not. Sometimes the show is good, but it's just not your type of show either. So that's another thing, which is why this is sort of kind of biased. But anyway, just to explain my system a little bit, I have developed a tiny little system just to help you guys out with some visuals, because everyone likes visuals. But basically I've separated into categories of like how watchable the show is, I guess, or like how much you should watch it. Basically it's like green, blue, yellow, red. So red being you could probably go on with life without watching this, and green being you should definitely be watching this. So I'm just gonna go through from bottom to top. So I'm gonna start with the red shows and then go all the way up to the green shows. But anyway, I'm actually going to start with the shows that I haven't watched yet, just because I plan on watching them at some point when I have more time. And those shows are basically just 2 of them, Drifters and Idle Memories, both of which seem pretty good. Well, Idle Memories, I'm only wanting to watch it because I've never watched an idol show before, so I want to see how the genre is like. I don't know, we'll see how it goes on that one. Also, it's kind of impossible to find an English sub for that, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch it anyway. And then of course Drifters, which just seems like awesomeness in general because it's basically Helsing. But anyway, let's start with the shows that you shouldn't be watching because I told you so. Now the good thing is we only have 1 red show so far for this season, from the ones I've watched of course, and that would be a wonderful anime we like to call Trickster. Now before you kill me, let me just tell you why this show seems like it's shit. So basically I watched the first episode and the first thing I noticed was emo, and then suicide, and oh, so melodramatic. Why can't I commit suicide? Yeah, that's the basic vibe I get from the show. But also the fact that I just had literally no idea what was going on. I was just like, first off, Gundam. Second off, emo. Third off, I don't know, man. Like, the characters seemed like they were pretty interesting. Especially that funny guy who like literally laughed through everything. Kind of psychotic, but whatever. But it's just like, I don't know, it's just there was just so much happening at once, and it was obvious that they didn't really know how to organize it in a way that would make sense. So if that was the case, then I felt like that would be like how the entire show will be in general. Trickster has been dropped. I mean, I might give it another chance because I didn't hate it per se, but it's just like, it just doesn't seem like the creators didn't know what they were doing. If you haven't watched it already, you probably won't be missing much, even though it's a pretty popular show this season for whatever reason. But moving on. So now we move into the yellow zone. Unfortunately, again, we only have 2 shows in this zone, so this season's actually doing pretty well so far. So the next show I'm gonna talk about is Shumatsu no Izeta. Man, I'm just really going for those popular anime, aren't I? If you haven't clicked away by this point, the reason I don't really like this show is not because it's necessarily bad in any way. Like, it seems pretty straightforward. I like the female character, the female lead, I forgot her name, and I like where the show is going. And then the magical girl or whatever comes up and it's just like, is she riding a gun? I mean, that's pretty fucking awesome, but at the same time it's just like, I kinda wanted a World War II drama kind of thing. Obviously, I knew that was gonna happen because first off, they showed it at the very beginning of the show, and second off, it's on the synopsis and all, whatever. So like, it's expected. It just felt so out of place, and I was just like, wow, this is gonna take some getting used to. I'm probably gonna keep watching it just to see how it goes. I think it'll probably be entertaining. It's just that the magical girl just threw me off with the whole. It just did not go with tone that they set with the whole military and whatever. And what is up with the whole Germania and friggin' Westjet? Like, bruh, if you're gonna like change the names of the countries to make it more fantasy, like just try to go all the way. I mean, you couldn't make it more obvious that this is World War II, and like, I mean, if you're just gonna do that, just go with the real names. I mean, honestly, but whatever. But aside from all that, I think it's still a pretty good show, so I would still say if you like that kind of stuff, you probably would enjoy it. I was just really thrown off by the magical girl coming in out of nowhere, because the rest was pretty entertaining, so that's the only thing that's really giving me hesitation about this show. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll just get used to it and then I'll be able to enjoy it, because otherwise the show seems pretty well written and seems like it'll be pretty entertaining. So if you don't mind that aspect of it, then really you probably won't have any problems with this show. So our next and final show on the Yellow Zone is Maho Shoujo. I'm just gonna say Magical Girl Raising Project. There you go, I finally learned the English name. This show, for those of you who follow my channel, I've done some episode reactions of the first 2 episodes, so I posted links on those videos in the description below so you can find detailed information on what I think of the show. The first episode, I had a more positive outlook on it than I did the second episode. So it kind of went from blue to yellow after the second episode. You can find more details on exactly what I feel about it and where I think the show might go. But I'm still gonna watch the show because I think it'll be entertaining. Just don't expect too much from it, is probably what I would say. But moving on. I just want to sidetrack for a second here and just talk about how this season seems pretty exciting. I mean, this seems to be a lot of good stuff, just noting on how only 3 shows were in the yellow or red from the ones I've watched. So I'm pretty excited for this season. This might actually be the best season of the year. I mean, I don't want to say things too early though, or jinx anything. Knock on wood. I mean, I knocked on, I don't know if you can. I knocked on wood. Now, if you haven't noticed, I did change into this wonderful shirt that I was going to wear at the beginning of the video, but then I forgot. But now it has more symbolic meaning because I'm wearing it for the blue and green, like the good shows. That's how symbolism in film works. Also, it kind of looks like a schoolboy uniform. So now it's time to get to the good stuff. Let's get on to the blue section. This section also only has 2 shows, which is even better because there's a lot of green. So the first show we're gonna look into is Lost Treasure Inside Wick Sauce. I think that's how you say it. Wick Sauce. Wick Sauce? Like sauce? Like sauce? I don't know. But I literally know nothing about the game or anything about the previous series, if there were anything like that. All I know is that I read the synopsis and I was pretty excited for it. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just because of the young version of myself that loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably, or something. The trading card game seemed pretty interesting, and plus one of the genres was psychological, so I was like, interesting. This could be an interesting show. Now, unfortunately, when they said psychological, they kind of meant it in a kind of forced way. The show really does try to be psychological, and in a sense it is. Because, you know, you kind of lose all your memories when you lose. or I think you, I don't know if you die, I can't remember. But whatever, I was just kind of hyped for the show. I couldn't really find the reason why, but whatever. So I watched it, and I gotta say, I was not really that, I wasn't disappointed. Like, it definitely did what I wanted it to do, which was, you know, set up the trading card game and all that, and it has some pretty interesting rules and whatnot, so it doesn't seem like anything like super amazing or anything like that. But I think it'll be entertaining, and I don't know, I just was really excited for the show for some reason, and so far it hasn't let me down, so I think it'll just be a good show just to watch. Well, if you're into that kind of stuff as well, you'll probably enjoy it, although, again, it's not as psychological as it claims to be, at least not yet. We'll see if it ever goes to take like maybe a slightly dark turn or something, but how it did it so far with the first episode, it seemed like it probably won't. So the next one on this list is Sangatsu no Lion. Now this show was something that I was interested in just because of the studio, because Shaft, and you know, Shaft made this wonderful anime that we all love, or at least I love. But I have to say, at the beginning I was kind of scared because it almost felt like the whole emo thing, like Trickster, you know? It was like, my life is depressing. So the directing was really interesting and pretty unique, as it always is with Shaft. It's just something you expect with Shaft at this point. It did feel pretty melodramatic. He seemed like the protagonist. I was just like, I hate everything, blah. Kind of like for no reason, like the guy from Catcher in the Rye. That book that we were forced to read in high school that really sucked. Then the funny stuff came, and I was like, thank the Lord, because holy shit. I mean, yeah, I was starting to kind of dislike the character because of how depressing and silent he was. I mean, I'm sure there's a good reason behind it, but I don't know. But yeah, the entire comedic part just completely compensated for it. I was like, thank you. And now that I know that's gonna be comedy with some dramatic and I guess you could say melodramatic subtleties with it, I think it'll still be good. As the comedy, I think, will really definitely help lighten the mood and not make the show take itself so seriously, because it really needs to stop, because holy shit, all that water. Calm yourself, Shaft. Also, is that you, Arimakose? And now it is time for the green. So the first show on the green list is Poku's Udon World, because I'm not going to try the Japanese name. If any of you were watching last season, Amamato Inazuma, or Sweetness and Lightning, was a very cute anime about a girl and her dad learning how to cook, and it was great. A very calm, heartwarming show. This is that show for this season, with a bit of a twist, of course. Some fantasy elements in it, if you will. Just like Sweetness and Lightning, I think this is going to be a great show to just sit back and enjoy some lighthearted, heartwarming kids show. It's kind of hard to go wrong with these kind of shows, so I'm just gonna watch it because it's nice and sweet and lovely and makes you so happy inside. Now the next show we have is Occultic 9. I could tell from the start, from the preview, that this was gonna be like Durara, or Durarara. It's 3 Ra's. Durarara. Yeah, Durarara. Yeah, it definitely is. It's very much weird, odd characters who are very flamboyant and crazy, and really weird setting, and they all have a weird connection to each other, and there's like weird shit going on. You have no idea what's going on. And basing off of how great that show was, I think this show's gonna be pretty similar, so I think it's also gonna be pretty great. I mean, with this show, you definitely don't know what's going on, but unlike Trickster, it's because it's sort of like a mystery series where you don't know what's going on, and it's done on purpose, where they give you certain hints throughout and you have to piece them together at some certain point, or it all comes together at some point. And it seems like it definitely has more bloody murder involved with it than like Durarara, even though Durarara did have like murder in it. It seems more like this is more focused on murder mystery than Durarara was. But yeah, I think it's going to be pretty entertaining, and they just have some really freaking crazy characters, which is gonna be great. I know it's gonna be great, so I'm looking forward to that one. So our next show on the green list is Shakunetsu no Takumizume. Now I know what many of you are thinking. Gabriel, why the fuck is this in the green list and not Shumasu no Izeta or Trickster, or you know, my other shows that I like? Well, random viewer that you probably doesn't exist, I'll tell you why. I don't know, it's just my personal preference. I've never actually watched a sports anime before, first off. so that might actually be part of it. Yeah, I really need to watch Haikyuu. I know, I need to watch Haikyuu. I'm going to do it. It's on my list. I'm gonna get to it. Do not worry. But apparently I like the sports genre because I really like this show. It's really great. It's nothing, I guess, unique, and I can kind of tell it's probably the same as most other sports anime. But hey, lollies and sports anime, good stuff. Plus the opening is pretty hype, as is with a lot of sports anime, I guess. So, I like it, man. Don't blame me. If it ain't broken, why fix it? But anyway, now our next show on this list is Soushin Shoujo Matoi. Again, the reason behind watching this one was for the studio. The studio who's making this is White Fox, who just recently made Re:Zero and also made Steins Gate. And once again, they're at it again. Because the one thing that I've noticed that White Fox really excels in is characters. They have really good characters. They're strong characters in whatever personality they happen to be. They seem to have a lot of background, or at least the creators and the writers have a lot of background information for their characters, and you can just kind of tell that through the writing, that they know the backstory of these characters, so therefore the characters seem more real. Hopefully, plot-wise, it doesn't fall short like it kind of did with Re:Zero. But so far, I'm really enjoying the show. It's freaking hilarious, and it's also just entertaining in general. To be perfectly honest, at first I had it in the blue section because I wasn't sure whether it was being so funny so much of the time that I was kind of like, I couldn't tell whether it was comedy or like more serious or not, because it was kind of hard to take them seriously since they were always doing comedy. But this second episode definitely like just set the tone. So now I know that this is sort of like, it is a pretty much almost all a comedy with action, of course, comedy action. It still really makes you get into the show and really care about the characters, and still makes you take it seriously in serious moments. Good job again, White Fox, you did it again. And now for the final show for tonight. This is probably, since the beginning, from the first episode, is probably gonna seem like the best anime of the season. Of course, it's way too early to say anything like that, but so far I've been really enjoying it, and that show is Flip Flappers. This show definitely gives me some Studio Trigger vibes, just with the art style and just how crazy it is in general. But yeah, the characters seem really strong, the action is great, it's just freaking crazy but awesome at the same time, and that's all you need, man. And the story seems like it's pretty decent as well, so you know, I think it's gonna be great, and I think I really gotta love it. We'll have to see, of course, because you never know. But so far, it has done a really good job. But anyway, so yeah, that's my little spiel on this season's anime so far. The first 1 or 2 episodes, depending on some of the anime. Hopefully that was helpful to you. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry if it was a little lengthy, but there was a lot of shows to get through. I'm definitely planning on doing this in future seasons as well. Of course, opinions will probably change with all these shows at some point or another. So we'll see which show ends up being great or not. I may do a mid-season look to see where we are in the mid-season, and then also a final season look. We'll see. I'm not sure about the mid-season one, but I'll probably do a final season one. However, I won't include shows in the final season one that I would like to do actual reviews on. But we'll see how it goes. Till then, guys, you can look forward to a few other stuff. I'm gonna work on my 91 Days review, as well as a couple AMVs, the Erase AMV and the Mob Psycho and One Punch Man AMV, which will be out in the next few weeks. So stay on the lookout for that, and for any reaction videos I end up deciding to post up. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, what you think I can do better, because you know, I'm still kind of a noob. I mean, you can tell by my viewer count. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this season as I think I'm going to enjoy it. I'm very excited for it, really, so I'm really pumped. So we'll see how it goes, guys. But yeah, keep watching your anime, because I will as well, and I will see you guys later. SanChan out.